You look familiar.
Familiar. I look familiar?
Next Wednesday.
Why is he here? He's represented by the firm.
You still chasing after Sabrina, I see. What's it to you?
Brace for impact.
I really need to see you in my office.
Because this could be the fight of their lives.
Mr. Benson will be listening in on the testimonies today.
I scream for God, anybody. My baby would still be here.
Is there any paper trail proving what was done?
Tyler Perry Sistas. All new next Wednesday at 9. Watch it live on BET.
Hey y'all, it's your Missniecytv, and I made a breakdown of the trailer for Sistas Season 9, Episode 19. The trailer starts off with Dr. Cruz telling Karen that she looks very familiar. Of course she looks very familiar because you were the doctor that unalived her baby because of your negligence. And Karen looks like she's about to bust him upside his head as soon as he said that, right? And I'm like, Karen, I'm not even mad at there and insult that lady's intelligence like that. Like, you weren't the one that unalived her baby because of your negligence, and now you're trying to play like you don't know her. Or you think you know her, when you know exactly who she is. You just don't want to admit to you're wrong, and you're trying to play it off so that you could possibly clear your conscience. But it's never going away, and sadly, Karen's not the only one that you have to face when you're talking to her. There's a whole bunch of other women in that room that you did the same thing to. So you gotta pretend like you don't know them either, or you think you know them, when you know exactly who they are. One of the ladies asked Andy, why is he even here? And Andy's like, sadly, he's being represented by the firm. Tell him the real reason he's probably being represented by the firm is because he's friends with one of the head people here. That's why he's being represented. Then we see Rich coming into the bank holding some flowers for Sabrina so that he could give them to her, right? And I'm like, Rich, this is not the time for you to try to win Sabrina back. Read the room. Then Demani has a nerve to say, I see you're still chasing after Sabrina. And then that's when they get into a fight. I'm like, Rich, this is not the time to be fighting to prove your love. Demani, answer this question for me. Why do you care if Rich is still chasing after Sabrina if you don't really like her in that way? And does your fiance know that you were asking Sabrina to be a couple with you just like a week ago? Demani, weren't you the one that were getting touchy-feely with Sabrina and Turks and Caicos when y'all went on that work trip? If I were you, I would shut up because Rich could honestly blow up your spot. But back to you, Rich. I understand that you want to beat Demani up for a long time because of the animosity that you have towards him. But other than that, this is not the way to get Sabrina back. If anything, it's going to push her away more. Over at the airport, we have the HR lady coming to Danny's desk asking her to see her in the office. And I'm like, Danny, I think you possibly could be getting fired because of budget cuts, but also because of the settlement that you got, and they feel like you don't need to work there anymore. Over at the law firm, we have Sabrina coming into Fatima's office talking to her, and I know that they're talking about the whole situation with Demani and her fiance now. Demani's fiance wants to sue Sabrina. They told her to get rid of the embryos, and Sabrina's like, I'm not getting rid of them. And I hope Sabrina also tells Fatima that they made an agreement, even though it's verbally. I wish Sabrina would have recorded that conversation, or at least I wonder how Fatima is going to juggle working with Sabrina on this case and helping Andy, because you see what happened the last time she tried to juggle two things. Back over at the airport, based off Danny's reaction after the meeting with that lady, it does look like she got fired. And I hope that Danny uses that money that she got from the settlement and uses it wisely. The same advice that Danny is giving to Tony while he is employed is the same advice that she needs to be applying to herself. Let me just start by saying that this whole situation is very sad, and these ladies know their babies deserve to be treated like this. So it's time for the meeting to start, and Andy tells the ladies, when you tell your story, hopefully this will give Benton a reason to believe us. So the girls sit down and they tell their stories one by one. This lady goes first, and she's like, I was calling for God and anybody to help me. And of course these ladies are crying and breaking down, and they're recording their statements. Dr. Cruz is a very despicable person, and he will definitely reap what you sow. So it's time for Karen to tell her story, and of course we know that she had a terrible birthing experience. She was sitting there telling Dr. Cruz that something was wrong, and he was like, there's nothing wrong, it's just how your body is doing because you're a small woman. She's like, no, something is wrong. If he would have listened to Karen and the rest of these ladies and put his prejudice for black women aside, all these women's babies would still be here. So after these ladies sit there and recant similar stories about the same man, Mr. Benton has the nerve to say, well, is there a paper trail proving that all of this is true? Mr. Benton, now I know you're not going to sit there and protect your friend after you heard all these stories. Mr. Benson knows for sure that Andy sat there with him and went through case files of information and proof. And Mr. Benson sat there in her face and said, my friend would never do that. He's not that type of person. And what more proof do you need? These ladies are sitting here recanting the same stories. Why would they sit there and make up lies about the same man? It makes no sense. I don't know if Mr. Cruz is trying to make Andy look bad in front of these ladies, but he knows the truth, and he knows that Andy sat there and showed him proof. And if he doesn't believe Andy, Karen could vouch for Andy because she came to her house that morning and showed her the proof that she was going to show Benson. It really breaks my heart that these ladies could sit there and tell the stories about the same man with lots of proof and evidence, and Mr. Benson will still not believe them. White privilege and superiority is a real thing, and I really feel really bad for these women. Let me know what you guys think about the trailer. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. Bye!